Hey, all right. Here's a video. Since I have both of these at the moment, one of these is going back to the store. I have the black Fender Twin Tonemaster and the blonde Fender Twin Tonemaster. What's really the difference in sound? They say on Fender's website that this one is more for rock and roll. What the hell does that mean? Beats me. That one's got Celestians. That one's got Jensens. I'll give you my opinions on it in the end, but for now, I'm just going to do some A-Bing for you. It's going to be lo-fi on my cell phone. No microphones involved, just the room. I've got them set to the second lowest attenuation. I might crank it up to a little bit louder, but I don't want to crap out the phone input. But we'll see what's up. I'm going to be using my Epiphone SG G400 Pro, which was 2013 limited edition in the TV silver color. It's a cool guitar, but I'll also be using a different guitar with P90s in it, so we can check those tones out too. So let's get to it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sit here, play something. Everything is set the same on both of these. They're the same attenuation. All the knobs, tone knobs are at 5. The volume is at 3. The bright switches are off. Okay? And we're just going to go A-B between the two. I'm going to get these glasses in case I need to read some knobs, and let's go. Let's see, turn up the volume. I'm going to do a clean tone first, but where you're really going to be able to tell the differences when you put some drive on it. Okay, here's the black one. I'm going to try to play the exact same chord progression, and in fact, I'm even going to try to move this chord over to the next one while my chord is still ringing on the guitar, so you can actually hear the same thing. So here we go. That's it for clean. I got a head rush here, which has a pretty good tube screamer in it. So we're going to use the tube screamer right now and go from there. So here's the tube screamer, set on like not too heavy, kind of middle of the road, coming in through the black one. Different kind of drive. I'm going to take the tube screamer off and just use a white boost, which is just like your typical boost pedal with a little bit of gain capability. Here we go again. I'm going to play something a little different, maybe something up here. on the vibrato channel on both. There's none of the reverbs or anything like that. There is a difference in the reverb between these two because this one has the reverb update and this one does not. I'm going to do a separate video to compare that for you. So that's that. I'm going to switch guitars now to one with P90s on it, and I will be right back. And we're back. This time I'm going to be using an Epiphone Blues Hawk. Don't let the blues and the name fool you. This thing can rock pretty hard. It's got these really good Epiphone P90 Pros, which are better than the old ones, that's for sure. I think this is a 2018. They don't make them anymore, but they've gotten a bit hard to come by, but they got this nice baritone switch on it. Anyway, I'm going to be doing a video on what's cool about this thing, even though it's an older guitar. But it sounds pretty good for drive tones. So, it's got a dummy coil in it, by the way. Cuts the noise of the P90 out. So, we're going to go back to the Tube Screamer. We do the same old A-B. Here we go. Switching to the white boost. Different kind of boost. Here we go. Do some cleans. I'll switch it to the neck pickup for some cleans on this. Alright, let's see what we got here. There's your A-B comparisons. Now I'm going to let you know what I think, which I bought each one of these from a different popular brick and mortar music store. Which one is going to get the return? Which one am I going to keep? Well, the reason I ordered them both off the internet is because, first off, good luck finding a store that has both of them in there at the same time so you can A-B them. And really, if you find one store that has one and another store that has another, they're different, but they're close enough that it would be hard to remember what the other one sounded like. So when I went to test one of these in the store, you know, those stores are annoying. They're full of kids in there, like, making a ton of racket. when I finally got the room to myself to listen to this thing, I went out to get a pick and some kid came in there and he's plinking away on some delay for over an hour. I waited. And finally I said, the hell with it. I'll just order them online and I'll return the one I don't want. And that's their problem. You know, if they can't move the kid along, I don't know what to tell you. So, which one am I going to keep? I'm keeping the black one. Couple of reasons. I'll start with the stupider reason first. The blonde one gets marked, the Tolex gets marked up more easily. This thing literally had a black mark on it out of the box. I've had many Fender amps with this black Tolex, and you can get tears in it, but you don't really see marks on it, so it ages better in that regard. This has more, now for the tone reasons, this has more of your classic, that's what I remember the Twin sounding like sound. It's got the original Jensen type speakers. It's got that full lower mid to low end that's just real punchy and fills the room, and it sounds good. This one kind of seems a little weaker in that low end. However, this has more highs, and I'm not sure how it's gonna come out in the phone audio, but when you're playing drives through this one, they're a little raspier, a little higher. They just got more of a high end, like you turned up a presence knob. And when you put the bright switch on this one, it's, I think, too much. However, when you put the bright switch on this one, it sounds more like this one. So if you feel that you're not getting enough high-end cut through the mix, you can flip that bright switch. It does quite a bit, and you'll get a lot closer to what this sounds like with the drive on it. This one, maybe I could see someone thinking that when it's turned up the volume, it's getting a little woofy because of all the low end. But I will tell you that these tone knobs, which by the way feel great, they do a lot. In fact, when you first get this amp, they have all the tone knobs turned down to 0, and you'll turn up your volume and it won't make any noise because you're like, well, what's going on? And that's how powerful the tone knobs are. If you turn the treble, mid, and bass all the way off, it cuts it all off. So that's pretty cool. So let me give you an example. We'll do some bright switch examples. So everything's on 5 here, and here's that's no bright switch. Now the bright switch. So I'm going to switch to my bridge pickup, and we'll do the same thing. No bright switch. You can definitely get it to sound a little more like this. Unfortunately, you can't go the other way with the blonde one. If you feel this has got too much high end on it, all you can do is try to dial it out with the treble knob, which doesn't quite do the same thing as the bright switch does. It kind of seems like it's on a different frequency or something. As far as the low end on this, let's say you feel like you're getting too much low end, I'll turn this up on the attenuator 1 notch. We'll get some volume, and then I'll turn the low end down, the bass knob down. Okay? Hear how much that cuts it out? So you got plenty of room. Here's full bass. And there's 5. So anyway, I really like this. I've played many Twins. I had a couple of Bandmasters. I've spent time with vintage super reverbs. I love the sound of those things. As you know, they weigh 1,000,000 pounds. This thing does not. I'm not going to lift it up because you've seen a million videos where they lift them up with one finger. It's light. I moved these two into this room and I wasn't cursing myself for doing it. Everything else feels fantastic. When I first sat down with one, what really struck me before I even plugged anything into it was, wow, those knobs feel like the old quality knobs from back in the day. They're not loose pots, doesn't feel cheap. And then when I plugged it in, and this is really kind of the ultimate test, it immediately took me back to playing a twin reverb, which I had played maybe, I don't know, a couple months before. I played a tube one. It was like that moment in Ratatouille where he eats the soup and goes right back to his childhood. I turned this on, hit a chord, and it just had that sound, you know, that just that weird punch that they have. So yeah, it sounds good. This one's good too, but if I have to make a choice, I'm going to go with this because I'm more of a classic guy. I've always liked the sound of the Jensens. I got into those when my friend had a super reverb with 410 Jensens in them, and I just remember my takeaway from my time with that was, oh my God, those are the greatest speakers and this perfect size and the perfect setup. But I didn't get a super reverb because I don't want something that's gigantic. So I'm happy with the twin. It's light, it sounds good. I'll play you out on it with a little drive. Let's see what we got here. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. I'm going to have some interesting guitar videos, tips and repairs and comparisons, stuff like that. Later.